I want to start with how has my life been? Uh, how has my life been? My life is okay. It is fine. I'm fine. Yeah, yeah. And a question from Denise. Hi, Denise. Yeah. Denise is saying, how has it been away from family and being in a foreign country? Okay. 3 years ago, I traveled to Poland, and you people, like, homesickness is real. Like, real. You know that, yeah, it is funny. Like, in Africa, we have a joke, some joke we always use, and we're like, homesickness, those are white people, like, white people problems. You know, like, how can you be homesick? Like, what is something that I really want, really, from home? I'm going abroad, I'm going to get money. So, but my dear, homesickness is real, like, real. I remember I became homesick, like, I would just wake up in the morning and just break down. You are fine, you have everything you need, but you just miss your mother, you miss your father, you miss your brothers, you just miss that sunshine, you miss that. Trust me, they always say east or west, home is the best. I do not say that Poland is not good. It is a beautiful country, it has a lot to offer, but east or west, home is the best. Yeah. And I think the best advice I would give is that it would be so good if you get a job that would be so flexible, uh, and you can travel in and out of your country, like go back, see your parents, and come back and work. So how has it been away from home? It was hard. And when I got the news that my father was sick, it became even worse. Yeah, it became so worse because I constantly, he's my, like, my best friend, so I constantly thought how he was. Oh, and then he couldn't talk anymore. I'm like, oh my god, I wonder what he's thinking. So it was not so good with me. I think I really struggled there. Yeah, I was homesick, and it's one of the reasons actually I came back. Yeah, I couldn't handle it anymore. Yeah. And then a question from Simply Precious. Yeah, she says, things I knew before I traveled to a foreign country. Okay, things I knew before I traveled to a foreign country. One of the top things is that I wish I knew that it was different. Like, when you travel abroad, they look at us differently, whether we want it or not, and it is real. So I do not want, I just, like, it was so real for me to actually notice that in Africa, when we see, I think it's just different. It's culture difference, yeah? In Africa, when we see someone who is light-skinned, or no, who is white, we actually jubilate. It's more like, oh, Muzungu, Muzungu, you know, all the kids would be waving and all those things. And then, because I was in Europe, like, they all look at you like, and then there are those that would even call their kids are like, hey, come and see, come and see, come and see these Africans, you know? So, like, I think I did not prepare my mind mentally, like, for me, like, to be looked at as, the times I would feel like I was in the zoo, if you understand what I mean. Like, people would look at you like they've come to the zoo and they're looking at this thing. Like, you enter into a bus and someone is looking at you. There's a time I went onto a bus You know, I love storytelling. So there's a time I went into a bus, and then this old lady came next to me and looked at me closely, looked at me closely. Then she slowly brought her hands and touched my hair. You know, like she's trying to feel the texture. Then I turned, I looked at her, she smiled. Then she looked closely at my skin texture. She went down until my toes. I'm like, at least she's not racist, but I just noticed, like, I think it was more to, like, they had never seen, some places had never seen Africans before, yeah? So I think that is something that I felt I should have known before. Yeah, I traveled. And then, what else? I wish I'd known that self-care really mattered, especially knowing how to do your own hair, knowing how to do your own manicure and pedicure. You know, like you go to a salon and then they tell you, unfortunately, we have never managed African hair, so we don't know how we shall do it. And your kind of texture is different from ours. And you're like, please, like, okay, I understand. But those are things I wish I had known, because the people who went when they know really did a lot of money. Like, we have girls who had traveled with literally every kit. And they mostly people from Zimbabwe. They raise their children, know how Zimbabwe, Ghana, the West Africa, they raise their kids when they know how to make cornrows, how to make hair. So those people are making a lot of money. Like, you go to plait your hair and you're putting down like over like 300 Ugandan K, like 300,000 shillings. And you're like, just cornrows, and you're like, I wish I knew how to make it. Yeah. What else? I wish I knew before I traveled. I think that is, those are the main things. I think I struggled mainly with having to maintain your hair. And here in Africa, it's like you can change hairstyles every 2 weeks or a month. But the other side, people don't know your hair. Like, you can plait hair for 1 month or two and no one cares. Like, everyone lives their own life, no one minds about you, no one wants to know how you look, and everyone is just minding their own business. Yeah. So I think that is one of the things that, yeah, I think those are the two things that I wish I knew. And maybe also that I wish I knew that our education background did not matter that much. You know, there's a way they value our standard of education differently, you know. So you go to an office, you're like, yeah, I am, like, I have my degree, you know. They will look at it like it's a diploma, a little bit lower. Yeah. So I think those are the things I'm thinking, like, I wish I'd known before I traveled. Other than that, yeah, I think I was fine. Okay, and next question from Ankunda. Ankunda was saying she wants to know about my experience in Poland. Okay, my experience in Poland was quite good. It was quite a journey, yeah. And as you know, every journey has highs and lows. Yeah, I had my highs, I had my extreme lows, yeah. But in total, I think everything just worked out for my good. And what I can say is I was obviously excited going to Europe, you know, and yeah, getting different, working with different places. So I think I first worked in the company that had taken us to to sort clothes, and then I worked with Oriflame for around 6 months. Yeah. Then after Oriflame, I worked with H&M. Then after H&M, I worked for H&M for around like 2 months. Yeah. And then I got COVID, almost died. Yeah. And after COVID, that is when I thought, and I'm like, you know what? I think I need a job that make that is out of passion, doing something that I love and something that I really care about, and something that is going to grow me. Yeah. So that is when I thought of doing nursery teaching. But so I started, I started nursery teaching. I did a course in what is it called, a TESOL certificate. And online, in Europe you can apply for learning different courses on Coursera, and it is free. So you apply and they get you in. So I got a chance actually to study around like 3 courses, because I was working and at the same time studying. So I did a course in human psychology. I did another course in events planning and management, and then another course in teaching English as a second language. And I remember I did another one, IT. Yes, I did another course in IT. So teaching and studying was like my way of like being sane, because like in Poland people focus on making money. It is making money, making money. It's work home, work home. It is rare to find, like how in Uganda we most times we earn little, but we don't mind spending it. But in Europe it is different. Like people will earn, but they have so many expenditures. Yeah. and some of them are and just like someone made I think there's a pastor who made a joke about it, and he's like, in Europe you find like people are using credit cards, debit cards, all those things. So you find someone is still paying debts on something, and they have a mortgage, they have different things. Yeah. But to us, like, it is so different. Everything you have on, you bought it. Yeah. And so they don't have that too much luxury, unless you decide to live that life. But it is not like, oh my god, we have house parties, oh my god, we have this. So there's no that kind of life of partying that much. And so you find, unless you're really that kind of person who will just look for that crowd, but when you get into that crowd, it's extremely like way off. Because if you decide to join the partying club, the crowd that does partying, it is more like drugs, those kind of things. And being that I'm a born again Christian, so like we did not have that thing of like you will only visit a friend. So the only way to be sane was work and studying, and then reaching out to my family like as much as I could. And there are advantages obviously in Europe. The Wi-Fi, like free Wi-Fi almost everywhere. Every building almost has Wi-Fi. Their charges for internet are really low, like 30k, like 30,000 Ugandan shillings is what you pay per month, and you have 10 GB. And trust me, it does not just run out like it is here. So like a whole month you're covered. And then obviously the transport system, oh my god, I think that is one of the things that I miss. Yeah. Because you have like online, it's online, and you know what time this bus is coming, what time it's leaving, what time this train is coming, what time it's leaving. Literally like everything is planned for. You can easily plan all your day at once. And Uh, what else did I love about Poland? The weather. I went so excited about snow. Oh my god, I was pumped up, like, what is snow? And I can say it was a nice experience at the beginning, and then it became my nightmare.